Wolfgang Johannes Widmoser. Welcome and thank you for accepting this interview, which my team was trying to organize for many months, because as far as we are concerned, you're a very difficult person to get hold of.
Well, I only agreed to do this interview because you and I share a common mindset for wanting to develop young minds in this troubled world of ours.
I agree, because I traveled from London to Indonesia over 24 hours just to meet you. So for me, it's a privilege and an opportunity. So thank you. As you know, I see this life as a continuum. We are all energy and energy transfers. So that is the topic in which I am interested in today. I would like to talk about transfer and how do we transfer our energy as people in this life to the next generation. When my team researched your life, we found a very rich working history with artists like Salvador Dalí and Ernst Fuchs especially. And because of that, I would like to know more about you all the way from the beginning. So today we are going to leave no stone unturned and go back from the time you started to paint. Wolfgang, you requested this interview to be done outside, open doors, in nature, among all these noisy critters. Why is that?
I have a house high up in the mountains, beyond civilization, and that's what I paint. So I enjoy to be among nature.
So there you have it. You and I both share a common mindset after all. I do enjoy being among nature because it's inspired me. This is how I write, and this is how I write my teaching materials. I look at nature and I see the vibration and the movements, and this is how I understand this life. How did you discover your passion for painting?
Since childhood, I threw my school bag into the corner and ran out into the forest. Sometimes for hours, sometimes even days, with a tent in my bag, because I love the night sky with the slow progression of the Milky Way. I love to walk up riverbeds, discover all their corners and situations, waterfalls. I see waterfalls in winter had a lot of impact. Well, so that's how my passion for painting evolved. I wanted to record all of those incredible experiences I had in nature. And the only way I could do that was with a visual language,
Which is painting.
which is painting.
Wolfgang, when my team spoke to you, you told them that you don't feel like a person. You feel like an entity that the universe is used to transfer its energy to the world via you. What did you mean about that?
Well, I see myself as a mirror that simply translates the beauty of the universe. And the only way I can do that is via painting.
So what you're saying is you see yourself as a mirror that this universe used to translate its image to the world via you.
Yes, exactly. My paintings of the Venusian queen might clarify that point. And also that's the reason why I introduce mirror balls or distorted mirrors in all kinds of shapes into my still life.
Wolfgang, after we researched your life and we read and looked at your paintings, I concluded that you are one of the most talented and amazing painter currently alive on this planet. And you have been in the painting arena and the artistic arena since the age 14. So I am very interested in how you met one of the world's greatest painter named Ernst Fuchs.
I saw his book Architectura Celestis in a library in Salzburg, and I immediately decided to drive the 3 hours to Vienna to meet Ernst Fuchs. I had no idea who he was, but I wanted to meet the painter who wrote this book and learn from him. I took 4 paintings with me. Upon arrival, he greeted me like an old friend and suggested to join him in an interview he gave to the Austrian TV channel. That was in 1972, the year of the Munich Olympics. I had just arrived from the United States, where I intended to study philosophy in Berkeley University. But that was not for me, as I could not translate into words what the universe is giving me. But I could do it visually, via painting. That's when I knew I am an artist as a painter. Fuchs made me one of his assistants in teaching the Mische technique. The Mische technique consists of many layers. You start with a white ectempera, highlighting that would be called on a darker background to define light and shadow. Then you apply colored oil glazes, transparent layers of oil color to define your color composition. You highlight with ectempera again, and you apply more oil colors that define the colors more, and so on. You can go, normally you go 7, 8, 9, 10 times till you're satisfied, till you get the result you want. All the great painters since Renaissance use that technique, like Rembrandt, Velázquez, Da Vinci, Caravaggio, you name them. It is the Rolls-Royce of painting techniques.
Wolfgang, when we were researching you, we discovered that Ernst Fuchs sent you to teach Salvador Dalí the Mische techniques. But Dalí did not accept the teaching. Why is that?
Well, Dalí is one of the greatest painters of the 20th century, but he did not use the Mische technique. The Mische technique consists of many layers and is very time-consuming. Dalí used the so-called alla prima technique. So you mix your color on the palette and apply it opaque on the canvas. So it is kind of much quicker.
So, in other words, what you're saying, Dalí didn't have the time needed to learn the Mische techniques. And the Mische techniques is a very time-consuming way of painting. Therefore, a painter could take years to finish a painting if he uses the Mische techniques.
Well, yes, Fuchs used to paint 6 months on one work. And it can take years. Doesn't always have to take years, but months, definitely. You cannot finish a painting in Mische technique in one day.
Wolf, in 1976, you moved to Switzerland to live in the mountain huts, away from civilization, and started to focus on your own work, which you wanted to share with the world, and you did so by exhibiting your work at major art galleries around the globe, especially in Munich, Vienna, Switzerland, Zurich, Italy, Tokyo, Osaka, Melbourne, Jakarta, United States, and of course, Bali, the land of the gods. But your passion for painting exceeds your desire for money. Why is that?
Well, money is important to make a living, and I do sustain my life by selling paintings. However, money is the consequence of my work, but not the objective. I am well aware that the fruits of my labors are not mine. They belong to this planet, as I have to leave it all here. And that is what I'm trying to do. Although it begets an impoverished lifestyle.
Mr. Widmoser, what contribution would you like to leave to the next generation of painters?
My friend, if I can get 200 enthusiastic young painters to teach, I would do it in a heartbeat.
So, citizens of the world, there you have it. The one and only Wolfgang Johannes Widmoser.